Welcome to another episode of Fan Sports Preview. But today, we're going to change the title of the show. Today is Jamal Cooper, a.k.a. Big Coop is the takeover. And unfortunately for your Alabama fans, if you see in my face, you know I won the bet. So yeah, man, today on my show, going to be a fun show. It might be the last show of the season. We're going to have wages paid off, cigars being lit, and we still going to go over the playoff game, and we're going to get our predictions for the title game. But yeah, man, like I always told these guys, I've been doing them a favor, letting them sit up here with me. But today, being that it's my day, I had to bring y'all this pretty face by myself for the intro. But now I'm about to let security, let my background guys in. Come on, Anthony L. We still waiting on Dwayne, and we get this show started.
Well, I guess the fans can be happy because the star made it in.
Coop, I want to thank you for allowing us to participate in your show.
Oh, yes,
this
sir,
is very unusual for me, so if I'm trembling during the show, you know why. I ain't used to being a backup. I'm not used to losing. So it's very tough. I had a real hard night last night. I struggled with sleep, depression. I don't know if you heard on MPD had to talk me out of possibly hurting myself because the thought of lighting a cigar to you, it bothered me. It affected me real hard. But I found out through the negotiator that I had a reason to stay on.
Okay.
So that's why I'm here today. Dwayne is on assignment. Of course, he possibly lost as well, and he's scared to be here. We don't know, so we're going to say he's on assignment. But as you can see, my good friend Anthony is wearing the Maryland Terps jacket. Throughout the season, you've known him as a diehard Auburn fan. But because of his false prediction of thinking Auburn had the audacity to think of being a winner against Maryland because of Tallulah, as you can see, he was wrong. You will see later on in the show where he lights my cigar and apologizing for thinking that Auburn was a contender to Maryland Terps.
But you know, the fans shouldn't be surprised.
Uh-oh.
You've been a lose all year.
You know what? You actually got a point. Also, at the end of the show, you're going to see the ESPN's rankings. And unfortunately, Anthony, who will try and explain why he is actually last place. And there is a lot, not a lot, but a tie. Three-way tie of last place. That's unheard of. Three guys are tied for last place. It was unbelievable.
But I won't be in last place, though.
What? They got you on top of the other two
I won't
guys.
finish in last place.
You don't think so?
No, because as long as Michigan win the championship, I get one more win out of this.
Well, and Michigan will win. Now, Coop, since it's the Big Coop takeover.
Yes, sir.
Take it over.
Yeah, man, unfortunately, like I said, for Bama fans, I was right. You can go back and watch the previous show. I said, as long as Michigan can keep it close game in the box, I feel like their offensive defensive line were better than Bama. And hey, that's how the game played out.
You know, you actually said you feel that Michigan's offensive defensive line was better than Bama, which it really wasn't. Alabama's defense was strong. Now, the offensive line had some issues. They've always had issues, but Alabama didn't lose because of performance of play. They lost because of poor execution of play and poor the offensive coordinator making bad decisions.
And see, but I think it just goes back to like the pressure that Michigan was able to bring. Mm-hmm. Like guys coming free. Bama ain't seen that all year. And so I think it kind of confused them.
Yeah.
And so, man, you hate to say it, but I feel like Harbaugh kind of out-coached Saban. I know it's rough to say and, you know what I'm saying, rough to admit, but I think he kind of did. What say you, Pee-wee?
I mean, I've been saying it all year. If you bring the pressure on Milroe the right way, you can always stop Milroe because he's not a pocket passer. He hasn't become that yet. He hadn't graduated to that level. Once he graduates to that level, he'll be a better quarterback. But until he gets there, he'll be able to blitz him and stop him because he's a run-first quarterback. On that last play, you can tell as soon as that ball was snapped low, his whole thought process was take it and run. not to do anything else with it. It was to take it and run, not take your time, figure the play out, or to see if you can figure something else out, because there was a lot of options on that play. There was a pass option, a handoff option. He took the quarterback run option.
But you got to think though, one guy been running free all day. In your mind, that clock is sped up, and you just trying to get a play out because you know it's the last play of the game.
It is.
So it's easy to say from sitting where we sitting there to pick it up and look around, but that's not realistic in the game once you pick it up in the D lineman right there.
Yeah.
And so if it was a clean snap, you can see the play was open.
Yeah.
But it's another bad snap, and that's how the game ended for him.
Well, Coop, I want to, again, you can hear it in my voice, folks. It's hard for me to sit here on the Big Coop Takeover. I'm actually excited that the other host, Mr. Dwayne Wingfield, has.
Take you back up, back up.
Oh, I know you're absolutely right.
Let's introduce him right. Just got to introduce him right.
We're going to take a quick break so we can make those adjustments. We'll be back after these messages.
Oh, brother. Which brother? The older brother, duh. You're only older by a minute. Give me the best minute of my life.
Guys, break it up.
Our son just needs car insurance.
Like a good neighbor, State Farm is there.
Your State Farm agent can help you choose the right coverage.
Give me the ball. Mine. That was my ball.
Break it up.
Like a good neighbor, State Farm is there.
Welcome back to the Jamal Cooper Show, aka the Big Coop Takeover. And I got my other guy here, my good friend, my road dog, Dwayne Winfield. And we want to give him a chance to break down the Alabama-Michigan game.
Okay. Well, I appreciate it. I apologize for being late. We celebrated our Founders Day yesterday. Kappa Alpha Psi, 113 years, greatest fraternity on earth. But I'll say this, it was a rough night, but I'm here. I appreciate it. I got my coffee. I got Pee Wee the furthest away from me, so I ain't got to put hands on him.
You see his jacket?
I see his jacket, man.
I ain't lost the bet.
Yeah, okay. Woo.
Can you turn around real quick?
Nice.
Can we see the back?
Can you see the back?
Can we see the
yeah.
back? Come
Can I
on,
see
man.
the
You gotta
back?
be a
The
good
back look just
You gotta
like
be
the
a good
front.
guy, man. Come on, turn around, let us see the back, man. Make sure for the camera.
The fans love to see me.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. All right. That's what I'm talking about. I see that we got the glass up here with the cognac. What is that? In a stick?
Man, you know.
That's how we doing it now?
I told you, man.
That's,
Unfortunately, when Bama fans turn this show over to see me up here by myself, they know they lost.
That's what you see when you see Big Coop do the takeover.
Yeah.
You see Ansik and
That's what we doing, man.
That's what you see.
That's what we going.
Coop sipping on Ansik up in here.
Okay.
Don't make me call security up here.
All right. But so back to your question, man. So listen, I got a chance to listen to, Ant's take, and plain and simple, man. I was proud of Alabama, for the way they finished the season. I wasn't happy with the way they played the game. I really thought the game was not played to the play calling wasn't up to the standards of Alabama. With that being said, I thought Alabama, had the game in control, but some untimely turnovers, poor snaps, and I played quarterback, and anytime you get that ball below your waist,
Man, it's rough.
it takes your eyes off of what's in front of you.
Yeah.
So typically, you want that. If it's going to be a bad snap, you need to be up here. So I understand him having to reach down and get the ball, and he panicked. But man, I wouldn't even had him under center.
Yeah.
I mean, I wouldn't have had him in the shotgun. I would have
Shotgun.
had him under center.
Yeah.
On inside the 5-yard line. Your center's been doing this all season. So again, that goes to some shoddy play calling and some bad decisions. I think. But I mean, hey, I'm willing to say that on that particular day, the better team won. So.
And like I said, I wasn't really surprised by, because I felt like Michigan could meet them being physical.
Yeah.
I feel like they out-schemed them. And
Honestly, I think they out schemed them, but they out coached them.
Well, yeah, coach
They
scheme
really
the same
did.
thing.
They really did.
Because I was listening to Cowherd, and he said that after the 2020 season, Jim called his brother and was like, "Hey man, I gotta get this right. I'm gonna lose my job,"
Right.
and told him that I need 2 defensive guys.
Mm-hmm.
So if you look at Michigan defense and the Raven defense,
Right.
kind of similar.
I
And
do
his
remember-
brother sent them 2 guys.
Yeah, I
and
do
that's
remember
not
the
his
defensive
defensive
coordinator
coordinator.
went there.
Yep.
He ended up going back.
And they got the other guy, the other young guy from there.
Gotcha.
And so
Okay.
that's who leading their defense now.
Okay, because dude, I'm telling you that they showed more speed than.
Yeah.
And Ann and I talked about this, man. I just wasn't. I didn't expect Michigan to show that much speed on defense. And typically they, they're big and slow.
Mm-hmm.
And they were like, they had a lot of hybrid guys out there like the Ravens.
Right.
And they get a lot of free runners at the quarterback.
Well, what Harbaugh doing is Harbaugh coming in the SEC country and doing a lot of recruiting on defense. A lot of schools aren't doing that, but he invading Florida, he invading Alabama, and he getting defensive players.
So Pee Wee, back to you in this bet. Can you please tell me how did you lose 31-14 to a bag up quarterback? Take it away.
We're talking about Auburn.
Auburn, yes.
Oh,
Well,
my goodness.
it's a sign of the time now. It's like I don't understand college football anymore now, because when you got players that say, "Oh, it's just a bowl game," it's a bowl game that you earned. You and your guys got together, y'all played the season. This your last game of your career. You get to the bowl game, you either gonna play or you don't play. Then the guys play, but you just out there, and that's what happened. It's a new attitude.
It sounds to me like you're saying that Auburn wasn't prepared. Is that
No,
what you're trying to say?
They weren't prepared.
So,
I mean,
So
Okay.
and you can tell that there is something serious going on, because anytime you go through, the whole offensive coaching staff probably going to be replaced other than one coach.
So you've been giving me a lot of flack all year, but I do know one team that showed up to the bowl game with hardly none of their starters, and one guy really earned him a starting spot.
But USC had to show up. They ain't showed up all season long. They had to show up for the bowl game. I mean, all season long they've been taking long.
It's funny that you knew where he was going without him actually.
Because Cooper's
I
only
know.
Cooper's only going to talk
Just
about
saying.
Cooper only talk about one team.
It's the same. It's the same
He
thing.
gonna
though.
always pull USC out. USC get
But
one lucky
you know how many
player.
transfers we done had? And you made all those excuses. Y'all whole team played.
That is.
They
bad.
played.
And we had a guy that
Maryland.
showed up.
Our producer said that Maryland played with second and third string players.
Yeah.
No, they played the first half. We started our starters. Starters didn't do anything on defense. Second half, we brought the backups in. They didn't score in the second half. We should have played the young guys the whole game. Got rid of them. Got rid of
offensive
them.
coordinator get fired? Was he let go?
Yes. He got fired.
Okay. I'm sorry, Coop.
He gone.
I like to hear these excuses.
Yeah.
He gone. He gone.
So now we're gonna turn our attention to Monday night. We got Washington Huskies and Michigan Wolverine. Pee Wee, who you got and why?
I picked Michigan. I picked Michigan because I think they're the team of destiny for this year. But it could go either way. It really could go either way. If Washington can get time and throw the ball against them, it could go either way. But I picked Michigan.
What about you, Wayne?
Well, up until he just said what he said, I had Michigan too. But now I'm going. I got time to change. But no, in all seriousness, man. So I went with Michigan for the simple reason that after I saw what their defensive line, the defensive front seven did Alabama, and I know Washington has an elite offensive line, but when you come in with more than you can block, he's going to get that ball out of his hands quick. So I think it's going to be a really good game. I don't know if it's going to be that high scoring.
Yeah.
Washington has come up in a few low scoring games on the season. So there's a blueprint to play them well, but nobody's actually finished the job. So I think that Michigan has what it takes to pull out a close one.
And they said the running back for Washington supposed to play, but I don't see how. But man, I think Michigan kind of built to beat Washington.
Right.
Cause remember how they was shutting down those Ohio State team with all those great receivers. And so man, I think Michigan kind of dominate up front, confuse them with a couple of blitzes.
Yeah.
I think Washington hanging there, but I think Michigan kind of
Just from the offensive.
Well,
I think Washington.
The Washington running back been hurt all season.
Yeah, he has.
He been hurt all season. He been living in the games and running for 150 yards all season.
They held him to like under 45 in the semifinal game.
Semifinal.
And he had 20 carries. So I mean, Texas bottled him up. But I my hat's off to him because he's, like you said, he's battled all year. So yeah.
But now man, to the fun part of the show, where we got cooking with Mr. Edwards with the terrapin jacket.
I'm just happy
lighting
to see.
cigar.
I'm just happy to see he honored his bet, man. You know, because I was wondering when I came in, why is he sitting there with this big old jacket on? So yeah, okay.
So we're gonna get our producer to come in up here and bring the cigar.
Texas, Alabama rankings
I haven't seen it.
based on.
Yeah, I couldn't see you. We need to go back over there. We'll be back with the final part of the show in a minute.
More than a century of history cannot be all that defines us, as new opportunities await. It's time for something unexpected, something audacious. In a small workshop, it started as a dream. In the hands of a small team, it became a mission. This isn't progression, it's reinvention to levels unseen. Le Mans winning heritage and an unapologetic American spirit. Aiming for the Nürburgring 73 curves in less than 7 minutes. A road-ready sports car to beat them all. We are making history all over again. Supercar power and Mustang soul. This is the Mustang GTD. A legacy yet to be written.
You'll be fine.
Right.
They're gonna love you.
Cool.
Oh my goodness, get in here, get in here.
He's freezing. He said he was short. He's not short.
I was short?
He's at the most passing yards.
How many rings?
And the highest
Zero.
QBR. It's
Back me
always
up
the
here,
same.
Stretch.
What's up?
What are you, 6'2"?
Yeah.
Yeah, me too.
You think so?
Absolutely. Want to see my driver's license?
Dude, how's it going so far? I know how hard it is to be the new guy.
Oh, it's been great. You guys are like, what happened?
Zach, how long have you been here and you haven't even said hi to Dad yet?
Oh, yeah, actually, I was gonna hit.
When you shake his hand, really firm grip, but not so much he thinks you're trying to claim alpha status.
No.
Oh, is that a bad
Not there.
spot?
Not
Sorry.
bad
Oh, my
spot.
bad.
I love that though.
Of course.
You're not short.
I'm not. Is there a story that's sort of circulating about that, or?
Why do you make so much food? Because
Hey, guys, stop. I don't want them to burn.
Back, baby.
Can I have a juice?
Oh, for Pete's sake, Bob.
Sir, so great to finally meet you.
Hey, Zach, likewise. Good shake.
Thank you. Sit down. Come on, sit.
Nice. There you go.
Oh, I am sorry. I'm very sorry. New guy.
Welcome back to the Jamal Cooper, aka the Big Coop Takeover Show. And man, being that the season coming to an end, I want to get with the guys and ask the guys who they think the playoff committee got the rankings right. We're gonna go to you first, Pee Wee.
Nope.
So who you think should have been in and who should have been out?
I think you could have put Georgia in there. I don't know, if you go by history, you could have put Georgia in there. Yeah, Georgia was a 2-time national champion. They were #1 all season long. #1 throughout the throughout the vote. Then you take them out because they lose the championship game by 3 points. And I mean, I hate the fact that we couldn't see what Florida State's defense could do. We picked the Texas team that I was telling Wayne all season long, I just didn't see them as being champions. I felt like there were glaring holes in what they do on defense. Offense, they get to the point where they get a bit stagnant and they can't score points. I don't see them as a national championship team. I think they're a couple of years off.
So you would have had Washington, Michigan, Georgia, and who your 14?
Florida State.
And Florida State. So you would leave Bama and Texas out.
Yes. Because the thought process was a money game that you wanted to get a rematch of that second game of the season. But it didn't happen. Neither one of them could beat the other team that they was up against.
What about you, Wayne?
I think that when we finish this taping, I really think we need to get Pee Wee drug tested. I think we need to get him drug tested. Because not only did the committee got it right, we got 2 entertaining games. Yeah, the 2 winners. That's what playing the game is about. That's why Georgia wasn't there, because they played the game and they lost. I don't care what they did a year ago or 2 years ago. Congratulations.
They played the championship
They
game.
they lost.
They got punished for losing the championship
No. You don't
game.
get punished. You
punished.
you don't get punished. You get left out.
Yeah, that's right.
And
That's
not
the
a punishment. A punishment is if you deserve to be in there, and you would have deserved to be in there had you won. We wouldn't even been talking about it. But there's no way this committee was going to leave out the SEC champion after beating the #1 team, the #1 team for the past 2
Georgia
years.
Center would have messed up the snap.
Shoulda, woulda, coulda.
I mean, he would have messed up the snap.
Georgia played their bowl game. They looked good. Florida State looked like what we thought and what the committee thought, which is why they got left out.
They didn't look like what the committee. They looked like that because
Bro,
as soon as they got left out,
they would have lost that game if they had them 29 scholarship players.
29 scholarship players,
and they still didn't have their starting quarterback. They would have gotten blown.
They would have
out.
had their second string quarterback.
No, he wouldn't. He was in the transfer portal.
Yeah, because
he knew he was
playing a meaningless game.
Again,
would you stay for a meaningless game?
I would. He's a freshman.
It was a meaningless game,
dude. If him transferring, he still didn't get to play.
It was a meaningless game,
and that has nothing to do with him being a backup and being able to play on a showcase game.
Well, we saw Alabama against Michigan.
We did.
We saw Michigan. We saw Michigan team keep an Alabama team in the game, because if it wasn't for Michigan over those turnovers on special teams, the game would have been close.
And if Alabama had fumbled the ball on certain drives or thrown an interception, those would have been touchdowns.
Well,
that game wouldn't have been close.
Has Alabama been throwing interceptions and fumbling snaps all season?
Let's see, Milroe
has that been happening all season?
Let me say, Milroe has 5 interceptions on the season. So to answer your question,
what happened in the Texas game?
Dude, that was the second game of the season.
That's right.
I'm saying on 5 interceptions on this season.
Why was he benched for the South Florida
because
game?
He wasn't. Because he wasn't ready. Because he wasn't. No, that's
all season
that's
long.
That's not why he was benched. That's not why he was benched. He was benched Pee Wee. He was benched Pee Wee because the fans wanted to see what Alabama had as backup.
Your excuse.
That
if you keep the center in all season long as a coach. If you keep your center in all season long as a coach, and you know
what does that have to do with Alabama?
Bad snaps can't be.
What does that have to do with Alabama still being selected? Nothing. Nothing.
It has a lot
They beat
to do
the number
with that.
one team. They beat the number one team in the country, so they're in.
They didn't,
Georgia's
they
out.
didn't beat the number one team when they played Michigan.
Man, he talking about in the
We're
SEC
talking.
championship.
You
I guess-
deflect so
Yeah.
much, man.
I
It's a
guess
shame.
I guess my only problem is that I would have kept Bama in, but I think I would have moved Texas out, and because I would have had to find a way to put Georgia in, because I feel like they got penalized for playing an extra game. You know, the championship game, it ain't like the regular season. You know what I'm saying? It's the championship game, and so I feel like you should, but like I said, you can't have it both ways. So if you're gonna get a boost by it, so I guess it gotta hurt you. And so that's my only thing with Georgia. I just feel like, man, they should have been in no playoff because they actually played an extra game and lost an extra game to a good team.
What do you mean an extra game?
Well, like the SEC championship game, like
Well,
man,
Texas
played. But they played Oklahoma State though.
I mean, it was still an
So
extra game.
it's an extra game, but it was like it helped them get in there though. You know what I'm saying?
I mean, Texas was in a position where all they had to do was win, and they were getting in. That was based off of that one win. Had Texas, let's say Texas went 11-1 on the season, but didn't lose to Alabama. I mean, they let's say they lost to Alabama. They lost to Alabama, but they beat Oklahoma. No, I think anybody in this country, except for the folks in that part of the country, will be like, that Big 12 champion does not deserve to get in.
So
you see what I'm saying?
Yeah.
That win over Alabama catapulted them to it put them on the same stage. Now, as far as them playing the game, I didn't watch all the game. I watched the end of the game. I watched the first half of the game of that Texas and Washington game. And all these teams are flawed.
Yeah.
All of them are flawed. No, and that's why I don't see where Pee Wee's coming from with they're a couple of years away, because they have first round talent on both sides of the ball. You see what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
Now we've got the SEC talking about, man, I sure hope Texas don't come into this conference as a national champion. It wouldn't be a good look. Well, all right, they coming in as a semifinalist participant and ready, I think, to hit the SEC stage.
TCU was a semifinalist, man.
TCU was definitely
TCU last year was
TCU was
semifinalist.
definitely flawed.
Like I was saying about that game, so just say if Oregon would have beat an undefeated Washington in that playoff, and then what? I mean, in that championship game, then what?
Well, you know, I picked Oregon to win that game because I thought Oregon had the better team. I thought Washington had the better profile players, the skill position players. I just think Penix is just a little better than Bo Nix. But what Oregon had, you know, they still have a Heisman Trophy finalist and quarterback who played well this year.
Yeah.
And they had weapons on the outside. They also had the defensive back end. I mean, Oregon's loaded.
They only lost 2 games.
Yeah,
hey, that team in the championship.
Their team is in the championship. Now, had they beat them, I wouldn't have had a problem putting them in.
But like I said, I think like I said, man, it really irked me that Georgia didn't make it. But I see what you're saying. And this really was the only way. Once Florida State quarterback got hurt and we knew they weren't going to put him in,
right.
And the way things played out, this was the only 4 teams you really could put in there.
Yeah.
So people
and that's what I think that's what I was getting at all season. Yeah. It played out to where, and I know that there's been circumstances in the past, but the way that it played out this year, you almost, again, we've talked about this, man. I just don't think this committee was doing its job from the first week of evaluating these teams, because I don't think they had them in order.
No, and like you said, it really played out for them, and it's still playing out for them. The 2 undefeated teams are moving on.
Got the 2 undefeated teams.
And so, man, before we get out of here, man, we had some high-profile players get that transfer report. Starting guys get the transfer report. What you think about that?
I took this the way college football going now. It's free agency. It's legitimate free agency now. I mean, if I go to you as a coach and say, I want a number, you can't give it to me, I call James. See if he can get it to me. And I'm hitting the border. I'm gone.
I know this is a big coup takeover. I get that. appreciate it. I want to get Anthony's perspective on. I've heard a number of guys that are jumping in this portal. They're looking at Auburn, and as an Alabama fan, I would love to see some more talent get flooded into Auburn. I would love to see it so we can, the taste will be sweeter when we spank them.
Well, we're spending all kinds of money at Auburn right now. Next year. Next year.
What you the
next
the
year,
board of trustees?
Next year, we're spending good money to come up there to Tuscaloosa and spank a Tuscaloosa.
Where you went on your quarterback at though?
It's coming.
Okay, all right.
It's coming.
Okay.
I hear it's been a donation made for a quarterback.
Okay. You sure about that?
I'm sure about that. My sources tell me that.
So overall, last question. You happy with how your season went?
No, I'm not happy with how the season went. I'm happy with where we're going, but I'm not happy with how the season went because I think that it's evident why our season went the way it did when we fired offensive coordinators and other coaches are leaving the staff. It's evident why certain games were lost, certain things were done, but I'm happy with where I think things are going. It's more positive at Auburn now than it's been in the past. I mean, I can't remember signing day where you had Auburn fans sitting in front of the computer waiting to see who was going to sign with Auburn or where this class was going to be. That, I can't remember the last one. I think the last top 10 class we had, I don't even remember whether Gus had a top. I think Gus had a top 10 class somewhere in there. But that's been a long time.
And so what you think about Alabama moving forward?
Oh man, this is going to be interesting because I'm of the mindset that Milroe has to be pushed next year, and I can see this almost playing out the way Hurts and Tua played out. Although I'm not sure. I mean, the way that the schedule is set up, I wouldn't see Alabama if Milroe struggles. I wouldn't see Alabama waiting until the national championship game to make the change.
Do you got somebody on campus to replace him though?
We got one coming in. He's on campus now. He's already enrolled in school. They say he's the truth. So we'll see.
And so as far as the outlook for my team, man, we had a disappointing year. We made a bunch of changes. Hopefully Caleb gone to the NFL. We can play more team game, distribute the ball to some of those special talents on the outside. And man, get that defense better. And just see how it goes. Cause we started in the top 10, man, they ain't been a rank. But we win our bowl game. Had a strong finish to the season. Man, look forward to next year.
All right. Okay, we shall see. Will that transfer to the Big Ten?
Oh yeah, we go right there.
Boy,
running things.
Michigan and Ohio State gonna be pissed.
They weren't ready for the SEC.
Yeah.
And man, we just want to thank our fans for tuning in. I think this is our last show for this season. And so now, when the next thing you'll see is Pee Wee Edwards lighting our producer cigar, making that crazy bet with the Auburn Tigers.
If you guys want to see more of this chef or see more of Anthony, just write the producer. Just let him know we need more shows. I know you guys want to see more.
Oh my goodness!
More
I could respond in so many ways, but I'm not gonna say anything.
Yeah. I've allowed you guys.
Light that cigar.
I've allowed you guys to
light
be
that
my
man. Light that
backup.
man's cigar.
I've allowed you guys to be my backup singers all season long.
Okay.
How come you don't always, since you the star of the show, how come you always losing all the bets?
The star is not. I don't have to win the best. I'm the person that people tune in for.
Man, just thank the fans for watching.
Yeah, man. I always thank my fans. I thank y'all. I thank y'all for watching these guys. I thank all my fans for watching these guys and putting up with these guys through the season.
Oh man,
this dude is hilarious.
Yes, but look, man, we coming back bigger and better than ever next year, and man, we just appreciate everybody for tuning in.
Okay.
Look at that, Michigan Wolverine.
That is the last time.
I'm mad. Got to get back. I need some get back.
Roll Tide.
Payback. Payback.